Okay. Gotta get this right. Get this done right. Or it's just gonna happen all over again. I don't even know how long it's been. I know I didn't have this. You don't understand. I've been stuck trying to review this show. But every time I get done, I get recording, I push stop, it just restarts all over again. I can't get out of this. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm just lost my mind. I don't know. Hopefully this time I'm done. No matter what I do. It's not like I can't not push record. That's when it resets. I push it. And you can say, Scotty, just don't stop. It won't work that way. I could leave it recording. But what if there's a malfunction and it stops, or the battery on my phone dies out and I can plug it in, but again, something else could happen. I'm not free. I have to review this show. I have to do it right. All right. One last time. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And welcome to Short Lived, where we look at a TV show that didn't last that long and talk about it and try to decide if it should have continued. And today we're looking at 2006's ABC crime time travel drama show Daybreak. So when this came out, this was probably, besides like Smallville, which I started watching in 2004, I was starting to get into shows, watching them weekly. So this was one of them. And I remember watching this because I saw the trailer, like the TV spot or whatever you call it. And the concept was very interesting. This detective named Brett Hopper, played by Taye Diggs. He's a cop. Of course, he's a cop. And not a detective, but a cop. I guess I should say cop. And he wakes up one morning and he finds out he is, he thinks he's having a typical day. He wakes up, he walks down, he saves this woman from being hit by a bus, because we find out later, I don't know if they might have said it, but I don't remember hearing it until like the second last episode or whatever it was. Or last episode, I don't know. That the bus driver had a stroke. So maybe they said it before, I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. They probably said it before, I just wasn't paying attention. But he saves her from getting hit by the bus. Then he goes home, where he is found by the police and framed for the murder, or I should say, arrested for the murder of Assistant DA, District Attorney, Alberto Garza, which he claims he's innocent, and then he has an alibi. But as the day goes on, his likelihood of getting out of this, because the cops are typical TV/movie cops, where no matter what you tell them, they just keep focusing on the questions. You can tell them everything under the sun about you being innocent, even that you have an alibi, and they just keep asking you, so why did you murder Garza? Because they think, much like most TV and movie cops, if they think they have their man, they're not going to say anything else. And if that's one stain on this, if there's one thing about this, is it's lessened as the episodes go on, but it does frustrate me with TV cops, because you have to write them this way in order for things to happen. But then again, they're written differently later as the thing goes on, so I don't know. But, yeah. But after this, he is taken somewhere and brought to a quarry where someone tells them that with the consequence, that with every decision there's a consequence, decision, consequence, and that he has to admit to the murders. He's shown that his sister is being kidnapped and that uh, his girlfriend Rita Shelton, is murdered. And then he is hit with a sedative, and when he wakes up, the day is reset. And so now he's stuck living the same day over and over again until he can prove his innocent. Sort of. It's very confusing how it's handled with this time travel. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. This is a good show. I do recommend it. I don't know if it costs that much. I think remember how much this cost me, but like, I don't know. It's from Mill Creek. It's got 13 episodes on it, so it's only 13 episodes. But here's the thing: it aired on ABC back in 2006. It only aired 6 episodes. The other 7 weren't aired on ABC. They actually put them on ABC.com. I remember getting mad because they weren't airing anymore. I'm like, where is Daybreak? Like, it was like on Wednesdays, and it was that Wednesday, and it wasn't airing anymore. I'm like, where is it? What's going on? And then I saw a commercial saying every episode is on ABC.com, including 7 never before seen episodes. So that's how they're gonna air them off. And then like TV One, another network, TV One, was aired the last 7, which, you know, that's what happened with the show Migo, which, if I can find the episodes, maybe I can do that one. It had Bronson Pinchot in it, fresh off of Step by Step, where he was jumped to that show as a different character. And that show only aired on CBS for a certain amount of time before they aired the rest of the episodes on like Sky TV or something like that. But it's the middle of the friggin' day. It's 12:15 Central Time. Why am I yawning? Because I want a nap. But anyways, so yeah, I watched it on ABC.com, and I watched it then, and then I watched it once after getting the DVD, and that's all I've watched it. So I've watched the series 3 times now, counting this most recent rewatch, and there's a lot that I forgot. Like, it's been, see, what is it right now? It's 2022. I don't think it's been 10 years, at least since 2015. What was the last time, maybe? I think when I bought it. I don't know when I bought it, but well, what's the release date of the DVD? Does it say what year it was released? 2009. That doesn't help. But so the first thing to talk about is the time travel element. It's never explained. It's never ever explained how it works, why it's happening. It just is there. It's like Groundhog Day. There's no explanation. And really, I don't really think there would be any satisfying explanation to it. So I think it was wise to not try to explain it. But how it's resolved, just, I don't know. There's I think with 4 episodes left, it seems like it's done. He exonerates himself. He's proven innocent and everything. But because they ordered 13 episodes, we can't end it there. So why even have that kind of ending? He thinks it's done. So there are a couple times where we see the reset happen, like right in front of our eyes. Usually he'll get drugged or fall asleep, or it'll just cut to the next day. So there's a couple times. First is like episode 2, I think, when he decides to take Rita and run for it, which becomes a problem because when they try to run for it here, there are people coming after them, right? Coming after them, trying to stop them from leaving town, which results in him getting shot in the arm. They start to hide out, and they just keep driving, and he's trying to make it to that point, but then there's just weird flash. Another gripe I have is sometimes there's weird editing where it's like flash editing, and I don't understand why. Like, it's not always when the thing happens. There's just like when it shows that he's trying to remember stuff from previous days, it flashes very rapidly, and it's very shoddy. It's very shoddy. But um, he uh, the flashes start to happen, and the next thing you know, he wakes up back in bed. But the only other time that this sort of occurs is after he's quote unquote exonerated and proven innocent. He's back at Rita's, and they're like, well, we're gonna watch the sunrise together. Well, let's do that when he gets a chance to do that. Goes in the bathroom, splashes water on his face. He takes the towel, dabs it on his face, and then wakes up in bed. And it's the same day, and it's very weird because you're presented with flashes like he's trying to stay awake, like you have to fall asleep for it to happen, but he doesn't fall asleep, or that he's and then he does fall asleep, and that's when it happens. But here, it's just instantaneous. Wipes his face, boom, he's in bed. So it's never really explained how it works. It just keeps going. And it is frustrating that they did that, because at that point you're like, okay, he's proven he's innocent. No, because we got more bullshit to throw out. There's more stuff to prove. And there's more stuff that just is not needed. This show is so heavy-handed. So many things can be going on in the same day. And I understand there is a lot of things that can go on in one day. But this is just one freaking city. LA. It's just LA. So many things are happening in LA. And I think even the show itself forgets certain things. Like for a while there, Margot, the girl who gets hit by the bus, she's forgotten about. He saves her the first couple times. And then there's a couple times he doesn't save her. And he's like, Margot, I didn't save her. And then he goes back and he saves her the next time. And then she's not seen until she's important again. But like, that also doesn't make any sense because he didn't save her that time. And yet she's captured. So I don't understand. Or maybe, I think we're showing a few times he does call to try to stop her from getting hit by the bus. So maybe he keeps doing that. We just don't see it every time. I don't know. And then they keep throwing stuff at you. It's just like there are times where Rita's, unaccounted for, and you think earlier in the series you think, oh, that's because she's been captured by the bad guys and they're going to shoot her, or they've already killed her because it was daylight when she gets shot. But then later, he goes to see her at the hospital, and the lady's like, oh, she took a vacation day. It's like, what? Something's going on. And it's very weird, because they say that Hopper is the only one that knows things are going on, right? So there's this guy with a beard. His name is Jared Pryor. He shows up during a couple of things. And one of the days, he bites Hopper on the arm, and then he keeps seeing him there. And then when he goes to this club, when he's starting to pick up information about these people in this club and how they're connected to Garza, he finds him there. He's like, what are you doing here? And then that's where it's connected, that he's trying to find this doctor who's a member there. It says the doctor did something to him, and now he's stuck living the same day. However, when Hopper talks to the doctor says that Jared has a temporal lobe problem and only thinks he's going around in days. So that makes Hopper question if this is really happening to him. So he gets a scan. But again, I think that's just to stretch it out. Like, we have to have this existential crisis. There's a couple of episodes where they're trying to stretch this out to certain episodes because they didn't have that. There's that. There's he's exonerated, but no, there's more stuff we got to do because we got to get to 13 episodes. And there's even an episode where it's a filler episode where basically they take a day off. They go to Mexico. They keep repeating the thing over and over again. And all it does is make it so he's repeating the same day again. He's doing the same things. Now he's in Mexico. He's redoing everything. And he's getting bored of it. So that changes. Well, like I said, back to Jared. So they think it's a temporal lobe thing. But he apologizes. I'm sorry. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. You need to get your help. He goes, Still, I'm sorry I bit your arm. And he's like, wait, what? Because he shouldn't remember that. If it's a temporal lobe thing, you'd think he'd remember it. Also, I caught on. He knows who Hopper is when he finds him in the office, because he sees him out in the hallway and he's talking to him, and then he finds him in the office in the next loop. He knows who he is. It's not like he's trying to introduce himself. He knows who he is. So they've seen each other before, and Jared does show up at the end. I think that was like a cliffhanger for the next season. There are some things, while this can be conceived as this can be seen as an entire series, and it completes itself in one run. There are things left over. One of them is Jared Pryor, because as we see at the end, how Hopper's all happy with his sister and his girlfriend and the dog that somehow disappears. And I was sitting there going, well, who fed the dog? Well, if it's going around in a circle, kind of, the dog's not really being affected, right? But you see Jared standing there, so maybe that was something left over for the next season. He's all shaved up, but he's got a little goatee, but like he's all shaved up. So, there's something there. There's who can you trust? And there's so many people that are in on this thing. You got 2 former cops. You got another lawyer, right? Certain members of this club, right? A couple members there. One of which is the lawyer. There's another guy who is Mike from Breaking Bad. By the way, there's a Breaking Bad connection and a Supernatural connection and a Transformers connection, believe it or not, all within this show that only lasts 13 episodes. Let me tell you. First of all, you have Mike from Breaking Bad, right? Also from Breaking Bad is Tuco, Raymond Cruz. Both in this show, although Raymond Cruz isn't in for as much as Mike is. Mike is the one that says decision, consequence. And then you have 3 from Supernatural, that being Frederick Lane, who plays is he a lawyer? He's a warden of the jail that Hopper goes to for this criminal that they're letting out to commit these crimes, even though he's supposed to be locked up for all those years. It's an arrangement for him to do it, and then he just goes back. How he gets, I don't know. But the warden is played by Frederick Lane, who's also connected to Lost, by the way. But he was Yellow-Eyed Demon, Azazel, whatever you want to call him. And then you have Jim Beaver, Bobby Seaver, from Supernatural. It also makes the connection to Harper's Island, which is another show I want to do eventually down the line, because that is a 1-season limited series. And while it is short-lived, maybe it'd just be a series review, because it was only intended for 1 season. It was limited. But anyway, and he's a Supernatural, right? And he was also on Harper's Island. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But he's in here plays Uncle Nick, which is really his dad's ex-partner / best friend. So you call him Uncle, that sort of thing. And then there's one more Supernatural connection, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Who is it? Oh, what's his name? Spyback. The actor's name escapes me at the moment, but he also played Samuel Campbell, the grandfather of Sam and Dean on his mother's side. Mitch Pileggi. There it is, Mitch Pileggi. He's Spyback, who is, you think, is the cop that's in on it. But, or you're supposed to believe is the cop that's in on it, but Shelton kind of, you have your eye on Shelton thinking there's something with him. He's Rita's ex-husband, which is Hopper's girlfriend. He's Rita's ex-husband, and you later find out he's not doing it because of blackmail. He's not doing it because he's being paid to or being told to. He's doing it because he's pissed off. He's so petty. Pissed off that she left him and that she's with Hopper. And that's why he's doing it. He's pissed off. Also, there's just so many story levels that certain amount of episodes, then new stuff was introduced. Like 4 episodes in, we're then introduced to Andrea's boyfriend, Eddie, which is another lost connection, and it's Nestor Carbonell, a.k.a. Richard Alpert. We're introduced to him, and he's a drug addict, and there's, like, I don't know, the decision consequence then does come in a lot in this, as he'll make one decision and other stuff will happen. But like it said, like, he's the only one that's knows about the time lapse, but other people are affected. Like in this case, because of his interference in one loop, because of Hopper's interference in one loop with Eddie and talking and stuff, the next loop she decides to take Eddie to rehab. So that changes. Because he gets too tired of living the same day over and over and over and over again, and going to Mexico over and over and over again, this affects Rita's trust, and she goes to Chad Shelton, which causes, like, that's what I mean. Like, this, the last 4 episodes are really kind of, we have to keep this going to 13 episodes type thing. This could have been 10 episodes, and they would have been fine. But like, at this point, it's like, we got to tack on something else. Why is it still going? Why is he not proven innocent now? Well, he's proven innocent. Why is it still going? Because he's got to uncover more. We find out that Nick is responsible for the death of Hopper's dad, which was up till this point was called a suicide. To find out he actually pulled the trigger because he was getting too close to the case. And the case is that there's this girl, Elizabeth Contreras or something like that, who got pregnant by this mayor or whatever he is, another DA, whatever it is, mayor I think he is. I don't know. He's been in other things too. I think he was in episodes of Supernatural. There's that connection too. I'll get to Transformer 1 in a second, because we'll get to him. We'll get to Damien. But, yeah, he got her pregnant, so to cover it up, they killed her and hid it away. But Hopper's dad was trying to uncover it, and it didn't go the way they wanted to, so they killed him to keep him quiet. And now this Hopper, our Hopper, is being framed for murder to cover this up for Garza, and even the wife is in on it because she keeps pointed out Hopper, and they play this like a twist, like, oh, she's in on it, and it's like, don't you think, like, he doesn't catch on to it. I caught on to it the first time I watched it. It's like, oh, like, she saw Hopper, she fingered Hopper at the crime scene, and I'm like, oh, she's in on it or something. She's being something. She's in on it, or she's being you know what I mean. But it turns out she was sleeping with the other guy, this guy who's like in control of it mostly. And yeah. So basically she got her husband killed on purpose, I guess. But yeah, so Damien is the leader of the LDs, the Latin Dragons, I think they're called. And he is the Transformers connection because he's Leo from the Transformers movie. And you could not tell him because he's got cornrows, he's got a beard going on, he's talking, acting different. This guy disappears into the role. You would never know that it's Leo from Transformers. And this is actually a few years before Transformers Revenge of the Fallen came out. So he looks like this with the cornrows and a beard, and looks like a fresh-faced college kid 2-3 years later. So yeah, this guy disappears into this role. But yeah, so he goes throughout all this, and then you have, Rita's brother Billy is now somehow involved with something that happened, and you find out she accidentally killed her father because he was beating her brother almost to death. And now there's that from years ago, and Shelton got it covered up, and there's the same lawyer that's been popping up all over the place that's behind it, and he's one of the things left over because we don't get real resolution. He has a confrontation with him. He said, "Oh, you'll never get this," you know, something like that. And he's the one that implies that it was Nick that killed his dad, and it's actually Damien that kills Nick. Hopper walks away from it. He's still sort of a witness, I guess, but maybe that's left over for the next season too. But another one is find out that Chad Shelton is the cop that's in on it, not Spivak. And so Chad, there's other stuff. I'm not gonna go through everything. There's a meet up to make sure the gangs get together, and Detective Choi gets captured, and Detective Choi is the one cop that actually believes him through everything. And as the loops keep going and going and going, he believes him more and more, even though he shouldn't remember anything. Like, that's what I said. There's an effect to some of these, and the Chad is arrested, but then he's able to escape from the elevator, and he's one of the things left over. Him, Jared, and the DA, the lawyer guy. Those are the ones left over. Everyone else was arrested and taken away, but he can't prove the lawyer's in on it because he's a lawyer. But it's never really addressed. There's no big fanfare really for when the loop ends. He's just trying to track down. He's proven innocent and all this stuff, and then he's talking to Rita on the phone, and Rita's like, "Well, where were you this morning?" He goes, "What do you mean this morning? Wait, what time is it?" It's after 7. He runs up to the roof, and it's the next day, and I'm sitting here going, you think they would do a thing where he wakes up the next day and it's the next day, but this is just, he's talking, he forgot about the time, so it's implied that because he forgot about the time and didn't get sleepy, that it just went, there's no real rules for this thing. And if there was a season 2, I don't think that they'd be able to do the time loop thing again unless there's another murder. I don't know. There is ways to continue this. You could continue it. Like I said, Shelton's still on the loose. The lawyer is still a thing. And then there's Jared, who shows up at the end. There's some kind of thing with him. And he looks better than he did. His hair is shorter, beard is more trimmed. There's something with him. But I don't know. We'll never find out. And one of the big questions we asked with these is, should it have continued? Absolutely yes. We should have at least one more season of this. I think it would have worked. A shorter season. I think this should have been 10 episodes to lessen it, and then another 10 episodes for season 2. I think they could have done 10 episodes just fine. Like, if this came out nowadays, 8 to 10 episodes on Netflix or something, or Paramount Plus or Hulu. This is through ABC after all. Who knows? But as it was, it's fine. It's great. I don't usually give it a grade. I give it a B, if anything. I think it's a decent show. It's a little heavy-handed with all the... Like, I haven't told you half of the stuff that happens because it's just so much to remember and reflect on and go through. But it's so heavy-handed. I'm telling you right now, watch this for yourself. I don't think it's that much. I think you look it up on eBay. I don't think it's that much. I'll look it up after this, but I don't think it's that much to buy this. Or find it streaming somewhere. I'm sure you can find it streaming somewhere. In fact, no, if I go back, it's going to start playing a video. Let me mute it. I can mute it. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me see if I can't find it on handy dandy thing on Roku here. Load. What? So it's not on here. Hold on. I got an idea. Tay Diggs. Movies and TV shows. I don't see all. Hold on. See all. No, I don't see it on here. You think it would be streaming somewhere. It's at least through Roku. You can't find it anywhere. I don't know. Like, you should have to buy the DVD. I don't think it's that expensive. Then again, I don't know off the top of my head, but I still think it's a pretty good show. The acting is pretty good. Tay Diggs gives a performance of his life in this show. You really feel like he's been through the ringer, you know, through all this shit, day after day, the same day over and over again. And by the end of it, he's all like, I've had enough. Like, after he's proven innocent and then it loops again, he's had enough. That's when they have the vacation. He's just done. And he even says, I do this day after day, the same thing, day after day. And it doesn't do anything. Like, he's given up at this point. And then you realize there's more to it. But yeah, it is really good. I recommend it, of course. So what are your thoughts on Daybreak? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I got a whole stack here. See that stack of stuff on that little table there? That's all short-lived stuff I have to do. And I want to get more too. Couple more shows I want to do as well, so just look for those. But yeah, you may have seen one of them is Firefly. I do want to do that. I want to watch a few episodes of it, but it is good. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.